Welcome to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping Orange County. With your host, Don Camber.
Hello, live from the OC Talk Radio studios at UCI's Beal Applied Innovation Center. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Don Camber with another great guest positively impacting our community. Today, I welcome Robyne's Nest founder and Executive Director Robyne Wood. The Huntington Beach wife and mother of 2 children started the organization in 2015 to provide funds and support to at-risk and homeless students in the Huntington Beach and Newport Mesa school districts. Thank you, Robyne, for being on Impact OC.
Thank you, Dawn, for having me here today with you. It's an honor to be part of your program.
Robyne, please explain how you came up with the name and what inspired you to create the nonprofit organization.
Funny you asked that. I had a dream in 2002, talking in the dream about Robyne's Nest, and Robyne's Nest was going to be mine, and I never quite knew what that meant. And as the years went on, my husband and I dabbled in different ventures, and I always thought that was going to be it. And it wasn't until 2014, the end of 2014, when some people were mentioning to me that I should start a nonprofit to help the youth in our community, that I was like, oh, I know what it's supposed to be called, Robyne's Nest. So kind of came to me before the actual idea. And what prompted me to create it was my daughter was in middle school, and I was at that time in 2011, 12, 13, seeing middle school students that were struggling, not having a lot of parental support. And by the time she got to high school, again, just seeing our young people, seniors, even sometimes juniors, not having that parental support, being asked to leave their home on their 18th birthday because technically they were adults. And it just was, heavy on my heart that, like, all the resources that we have, there wasn't something that could support our youth to finish high school. I mean, some of these kids, they're great kids. This is their 13th year of high school, and for them to not be able to finish in the normal fashion that they have been accustomed to, going to school, being with their friends. Some nonprofits saying, oh, just get your GED, test out, get a job. To me was just, it was kind of embarrassing for them that was their only choice. And so after a few great discussions with some school administrator partners of mine and some friends, Robyne's Nest became a reality in April of 2015. We just turned 9 years old, and we were a full-on nonprofit by June of 2015. So here we go.
Now, you say they didn't have parental support. What do you mean?
So like I mentioned, they, sometimes the kids on their 18th birthday would get kicked out. They're adults. They need to go figure it out, even though they're still in high school. Sometimes they were just abandoned, kicked out for other reasons, maybe because their sexual orientation, or a lot of times because the parents just have issues that they couldn't deal with. We have students whose parents were drug addicts and alcoholics. So we have a number of kids whose parents died, and they just didn't have any other family to help support them. And so we kind of stepped in and have become that support system for them, and making sure that not only have they graduated high school, but figuring out what they're doing after that, whether it be community college, 4-year college, trade school, just working, and then just finding themselves as new young adults kind of on their own without that parental support that really we all deserve.
And you chose those 2 districts.
I did. Huntington Beach, my family and I moved here in 2008. And so that's where my kids have been going to school. And so we started there. And then in 2017, one of the vice principals from the Fountain Valley High School had moved on to Newport Mesa and kind of brought me along with him. And I started working out there with one of their schools, and then just progressively have been in a lot of their high schools, a couple of their middle schools, just helping students. Our demographic has kind of expanded to age 10 to 25, and people say, oh my gosh, homeless 10-year-olds. Well, it's not necessarily that, but we help a lot of kids even younger just with basic needs, whether it be food, clothing. We also do, recently we've expanded our mental health services to include mental health and wellness programs out on the school sites, meeting students where they are and not necessarily expecting them to come to us, but helping them with their life skills, like how to social skills, help them with their mental health and wellness. And just, when they don't have that support, when you don't have somebody at home teaching you, your only other place is going to be school or the playground, which isn't always the best option. So we feel like if we can get to the schools and partner with the schools and help teach these young people these skills, that hopefully we're going to, bridge that gap and help fulfill all of their needs from a mental health and wellness perspective.
How are you made aware of these students?
So we will only work with the school districts, high schools and middle schools for the most part, and we have liaisons at each of the schools that will reach out to us, and we try to coach them on letting their staff know if they come in contact with somebody. Obviously, let them know, and then if it's a good fit for us, they reach out to us, and we go out to the schools. We meet with students, we meet with the liaisons, counselors, administrators, and figure out the best course of action for the student. We offer, especially for our high school students, we offer an array of wraparound services. We have our own housing. We have 2 different levels of housing. We have a house that we just recently purchased and renovated for homeless high school students, houses up to 5 to 6 students and helps them finish high school. We then have, once they graduate high school and have some independent living skills, we have apartments that we rent so that they can have that continued safe, stable housing to, get on their feet, get their savings, whether they're going to go to college, community college, or they're just going to work to save. We want to be able to support that, to give them a couple of years, just like we do our own children. And unfortunately, they just don't have that, so we step in and we help provide that for them. All of our kids have open access to our mental health. We have a great psychologist that works with us and provides quality one-on-one mental health therapy. We have a full-time mental health and wellness coordinator that teaches classes and does different activities. We just put on Huntington Beach Youth Wellness Fair this past weekend and had vendors out teaching our young people like hands-on activities on how to take care of their wellness, from sleep to nutrition, exercise, and mental health. So providing all these things, life skills, and then basic needs too. It's super important. As we've discussed previously, there is a lot of food around. It's just, having access to it. And there's a lot of adults that can get to it, but sometimes the kids have trouble with that. So what we do is we deliver, especially like over the Thanksgiving, winter, and spring breaks, we deliver food bags to the schools so that to try to ensure that the students have access to breakfast and lunch that they are dependent on during the school year, right? That they have that over the break. So we give them easy to prepare meals. We provide recipes for them. And it just gives them that opportunity, hopefully, to ensure that they're getting food during that time. Our younger population, as I mentioned, the middle schools, we basically do classes out there. We do offer food, clothing, things like that. Again, we just want to make sure their basic needs are being met, and for whatever reason that the parents aren't doing that, we generally, it's not our business, but when the school says, hey, we have a kid that needs a pair of shoes, that shouldn't be a hard ask, like it's okay, what size and where can we deliver them? And we try to get things out literally that day. They shouldn't have to wait on things like that.
Now, when you're dealing with children under the age of 18, don't you have to get parental permission?
We do. If a school calls us and says, hey, we have a student that needs shoes, we do that, right?
But I'm thinking of that
the high
school.
school. Well, the high school students, yes, we do. And generally we get that. We do have a waiver that the parents have to sign to say that we didn't kidnap their child, and that they have access to them, that we are providing these services for the best interest of the student. And, that's really about it. We don't ask for anything. We fundraise. We ask our community to help us and step up and donate or volunteer or provide meals. We especially at our new house, we've been having volunteers make meals and bring over, because we got a lot of kids in there. And teens eat a lot. I don't care whose teens they are. They eat a lot. So that's been a great help, and we appreciate that. But so we do that. And, of course, over 18 isn't an issue. And they're so appreciative of just having a safe place. We recently had a young man that joined the house who's just happy to have his own bed, so it's the little things in life for some people, but for other people, they're big things for them to have those types of basic needs met.
Now, when it comes to fundraising, you have a store called Threads.
We have a little pop-up shop, just from donations that we opened to just try and show, first of all, show our students that we actually practice what we preach, which is self-sufficiency. So it helps give back a little bit to our programs. The kids like to go in there and shop. They help sometimes sort clothes and work the little sales that we have. And it's very small. It's only 500 square feet, but it's super cute. We have 2 great managers that make it have made it feel cozy and pretty and fun to shop at. And we have a great group of volunteers that work in there and just make it a great experience for everybody. And they all have such great like shopping wardrobe skills. They often are picking out clothes for me.
Where is it?
It's in Huntington Beach. It's located next to our office on 7602 Talbot Avenue, Unit F in Huntington Beach. And we're open a couple days a week. Like I said, it's a pop-up shop, so we have to work around what's convenient for our volunteers and our community. So we have information on our website.
And give us the website address.
It's www.robynsnest.org.
Explain how to spell Robin.
You always get me. Robyne, Robyne, and then the letter S is in Sam, NEST.org.
So it's Robin's Nest, not ROBIN, ROBYNESEST.org.
Close. ROBYNESNEST.org.
Okay.
I know. There's a lot of letters.
Well, certainly if you do a search, you'll definitely find it.
Yes, for sure.
So tell us about the staff that you have.
We have a great staff. There's 6 of us that are on staff. Myself, we have an assistant director, a full-time mental health and wellness coordinator. We have a part-time programs coordinator and student care coordinator, and then a full-time office manager. And then we have about, I would say, around 50, 60 very, very faithful and dedicated volunteers that step up for a lot of different events, whether it's working at Threads, working in our pantry, delivering food, helping me deliver furniture, working with the students, student events, mentoring, life skills, all those types of things. So it really takes a village, and we have a very strong village. And for people that maybe aren't there just volunteering, they're out, members of the community, they're donating goods, they're spreading the word about what we do, they're supporting us with events. So we're very, very fortunate to have such a great community in the Huntington Beach, Fountain Valley area, Costa Mesa, of people just stepping up to help take care of our young people.
Give us some examples of stories of people who've been through your program.
So many. We have a set of twins whose parents have passed away, and just through our support and their determination, one of them finished her two-year degree at Golden West and went on, just finished her first year at Berkeley and is studying abroad this coming summer and fall semester. And brother's working hard and just doing his thing, which is playing basketball. We have another student who lived in a very toxic, abusive environment, and when she finished high school and found the courage to leave, we helped her with that through mental health therapy and life skills, and she now is living out on her own and doing great, works at a great job. She went back to college. She struggled that first year of college, but she's gone back and is working on improving her GPA and hopefully going to get her degree in mortuary science. We have other students who have actually just moved away from California and are just taking all the skills and the guidance that we've given them and are making lives. We have one student in Idaho that's doing great. We have a student in Texas who's she's amazing, become a firefighter. We have another student out in North Carolina, who is doing fabulous and getting ready to enter her into a master's program for psychology. So, all the kids that we take in, they're great. They want to be better than where they came from, and we provide them the tools, and it's up to them to take the tools and create the life that they want to have.
So explain the process. A person that you may help from, they may be homeless or you provide food. Kind of talk us through it.
Well, honestly, every student is different. We have basic guidelines. We don't try and fit square pegs into round holes, and we kind of tailor care plans to each of our students. But we provide a lot of our own in-house resources. We don't feel that referring them out to an already overloaded system is beneficial to them. They get lost. So we provide our own therapy. We do all those things. And so the first step in doing that is they get referred by the schools. We sit with them, we determine, what are their goals, Where are they planning to go? What services have they already applied for? Do they have family? Trying to figure out like what is the best game plan, what's going to be most beneficial to them, and then we write a care plan, and we start with weekly check-ins, and then as they start settling into like a calmer, safer life, then we go to every other week, and then monthly, hopefully get them through high school, which is we have been successful in that with all the kids that have entered our program and have stayed in our program. And then we work on our biggest challenges are always that summer after graduation. Everybody thinks, oh, once I graduate high school, it's going to be so easy, and it's really not. And then getting them out of survival mode, they realize that they do have a lot of options, and that sometimes can become overwhelming. So we work really hard to get them focused and like, what do you really want to do? Not what do you have to do, but what do you want to do with your life? You don't have to worry about, if you didn't have to worry about a place to stay and food, what would you want to do with your life? And so we help them. We actually have a wonderful woman who does career coaching, and she does all the assessments and helps them with, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Like what would be a good fit for you? So we offer that to them. And then we just, again, the housing portion, if that's part of it, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to live with our housing? Do you have friends you want to move into a place with? We help them try and make their own decisions and see the benefits as well as sometimes the negatives of doing those things. Again, we're trying to break the cycles of generational abuse and trauma and addiction and homelessness and lack of self-sufficiency. And that is education. And it isn't just what comes in school, it's life education, it's life skills. So talking with them through these processes and getting them to think about the bigger picture than just right now is a large part of what we do. And a lot of people don't realize that. They think it's just, oh, if you give them a house, it's going to make it better. Oh, if you just give them this, it's going to make it better. And it takes all of those things. It's a big pie. You need the life skills along with the good mental health, along with the housing, to get that person going in the right direction. And that's what we provide for them.
What kinds of life skills do you impart on them?
We have a whole bunch, and some days they love it and some days they don't. We do everything from personal hygiene, finances, budgeting, goal setting, teaching them about safety. That's a big part of it. One of our new classes coming up is, when you're out on your own and you're over 21 and you're starting to kind of explore into new areas and kind of living that young adult life, what does that look like? So, we're teaching them all that. We're teaching them about drugs and stuff. And, some of them, like I said, maybe have come from drug addict parents, so they don't want to be any part of that. Other kids, maybe, they're like, oh, well, so-and-so did this, so I guess it's okay for me. Well, it's not. We don't partake in that. We don't allow our kids to do drugs, but we try to educate them. Like, hey, if you have friends, like you want to stay away. If your friends have issues, you need to get them help, like those types of things. So we try to educate them in those areas as well as coping skills for stress, how to deal with stress on a healthy level, which doesn't include smoking pot and doing those other extracurricular activities. So we really try to like everything from cleaning their apartment, teaching a kid how to clean. Everybody has different levels. If you come from a hoarder parent, the fact that you only maybe have a foot of garbage on the floor instead of 3 feet is an improvement, right? But for everybody else around them, it's not the best environment. So it's taking those steps to encourage them to, okay, let's pick up everything today. Let's wash all of our dishes today. Let's shower every day. Some kids do come from an environment where maybe a weekly shower was all they had. So teaching them and encouraging them to like work on taking a shower every day and brushing their teeth and those things are, but even in Huntington Beach and Newport is something that it takes time and patience to work with them and get their minds wrapped around that this is what is normal for successful people.
And you do it on the school campuses?
We don't do all that on the school campuses. No, we have our own office. We have our own, classrooms and things like that. When we go out to the school campuses, we go and we meet students there, but that's kind of another level of safety. We don't think that being on the campus 24/7 is really that necessary. We're accessible to our students all the time. We're accessible to the schools. They call us anytime and we're there. But being out there, it hasn't ever proven to us to be more beneficial than the way we're doing it, and it allows us to get a lot more done. We We have resource rooms out at a lot of the schools. We have grab and go food pantries at basically all the high schools, and most of the schools have multiple locations on campus. We have, like I said, the resource cabinets and rooms that have clothing, it has shoes, it has toiletries. Like that's their basic needs that they need. And so when they can go and just grab that, that's like, oh, I'm good today. I got this. I got a can of SpaghettiOs to take home, or a can of soup. Oh, I got a pair of shoes because the soles were flapping off when I walked, right? So we try to have those things that really probably mean the most to them, have them right at their fingertips. We don't want students to wait.
So you follow them to success.
We do. As long as they will let us follow them. Some kids get to a point where they're like, you know what, I think I got it now. And that's okay. And it's always like, well, if you ever need us, we're here. Our door's always open.
And so you fundraise, and when you fundraise to help pay for the food. Give us some examples of some of the costs that you cover.
So we have very small offices. My staff will tell you we are growing out of them, but we do have an office. We have a house that I mentioned that we purchased in July of 2022, and we renovated it and made it what we needed. So we have that cost. Of course, we have our staff, but we have. We do purchase food, though we get a lot of it donated, so we're very fortunate that. Gift cards we give to the kids for them to get personal items and toiletries and things like that when maybe what we offer isn't what they always need. We pay our psychologist who does our mental health therapy, which is one of the greatest checks I write because I know that they're getting quality mental health care. We have our apartments that we subsidize for once the kids have graduated and they move into there, and of course all the utilities that go with that. But we try to keep the money that comes into us, it goes to the kids. Like it's helping them become the people that they're meant to be. We do fundraising. We do 2 virtual events a year. We just did Help Them Home in collaboration with 1OC in April to raise $50,000 for our wraparound services programs, and we do $130K in 30-day giving in December. We have a chili cook-off that we do in October, so we do those events. I go out and speak at different places, and then we have some grants that we apply for. Unfortunately we're small. We really serve a small population, just two towns per se, or 2 school districts. So it's hard sometimes to get those, the people to see the benefit that, we don't serve a large number, but our small number that we serve, we're making a great impact and we're providing quality services. And at the end of the day, that's more important to me than how many kids we serve. So we're making it. We love what we do, and the people that come and join us, they see the benefits, they see the kids, they see the growth that we've had, and the services that we provide, the impact that we're having on the community. So
now you had a dream with the name, so I want to ask you, is your organization living up to your expectations with the name and what the organization's about? Well,
I had the name. I didn't know what Robyne's Nest was going to be, but I mean, it has. Like, again, we're here to help kids. That's our number one focus. It's not about us. It's not about the name. It's about making sure that every student, they are welcomed into the nest. They have the time and the support to become, like I said, the young person they are meant to be. And when they're ready to fly, then we're going to help them fly.
And do they appreciate it?
I would say, yeah. Some teens are teens. Having my own as children as well, there are times where they do think they know more than we do. And at first, I used to be, the first year or 2, I had some kids that they weren't quite seeing it necessarily, like the bigger picture. They were just so focused. And I was, it was hard for me because I kind of felt like a failure. And then I realized that, I just got to let him go. I remember, honestly, being 17, a little bit on my own as well already. And, I just thought that I could do better than where I was coming from. And it was hard for sure. But I just decided, and that's where I came up with, what, you can go ahead. If you ever need us, we're here. I always leave that door open because, they're going to think they know more, and that's okay. That's a youthful thing, but we always want to be there if they still need us.
How do your children feel about the organization?
I mean, they know a lot of the kids. They see the kids. I mean, they know that we're doing good, and I say we because they've been my biggest support system. My husband, my daughter, who is 24, are going to be 24 on Sunday. Happy birthday, honey. And my son, who just turned 17 and finishing high school, you know, they've been there. They've been friends with some of the kids. They've encouraged them as well. You know, they know that they're fortunate. They have parents that will walk on water for them, and they have parents that will walk on water for other kids too, because it's important.
Thank you, Robyne's Nest founder and executive director, Robyne Wood, for being on Impact OC. And I thank everyone for tuning in. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Dawn Camber. Have an impactful day.
You've been listening to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping our community. Right here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio.